Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Page number 69, Gita plus Mantra 23, and PDF page number 67 from the bottom. Am I right?
Yes, Jaykumar ji.
Okay. Let us chant 23. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha
Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha
na medhaya na bahuna shrutena
na medayana baguna shrutena
yame vaisha vrunute tena labhyaha
yame vaisha vrunute tena labhyaha
tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam.
tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam.
Yeah. So we had started looking at this mantra, part of the teaching of Atma Vidya, which was started by Yamadharmaraja in mantra number 18, Na Jayate Mriyate. So, here is a mantra which is actually telling Adhikarit. We often talk about Adhikarit. When there is something to be believed, listen carefully, when there is something to be believed, and what is belief? Belief is that which you consider as true despite lack of evidence. Okay, let me repeat that. What is belief? Suppose I say I believe in something. That means what? I believe in something. If I say I take that something to be true, whatever I believe in, to be true, even though all evidence is not there to prove that that is true. And that can be proved wrong also, possibly, but because there is lack of evidence, it can be true or it can be untrue, but I believe it to be true. For example, we elect a prime minister or a president, and then we say, you know what, we believe, we can only say what? We believe that he or she is going to lead the country properly. Correct? We can only say belief based on what? Past history and all. Past history, done some good work, etc. And he has some capacities that we think a leader should have, and therefore he or she will be a good, right leader for us. That's all you can say. Only time will tell. whether that belief will turn out to be what? A fact or not a fact. Correct? There's nothing wrong in believing per se. Okay. But then when it comes to jnanam, means when you say I know something, that means what? You have to go beyond belief. Correct? You have to go beyond belief. Belief is okay. You don't need to know that much evidence. And you can say, I believe it. I believe in certain thing. I believe. I believe that if I have some nutritious food, in the morning, afternoon, etc., if I don't take too much fried foods and this and that, my health will be good. That's all you can say. It's really a belief because we are not experts in Ayurveda. Everything is hearsay only. Nobody has studied Ayurveda. In fact, we have to ask the doctor. The doctor is the only guy who has studied Ayurveda, looked into Sushruta Samhita and all these things. And he studied a lot. But everybody else is all hearsay. And that is why two things, if we ask, they will never agree on the same. In Ayurveda, in any medicine also, they won't agree. But they won't agree. Why? Because it's all hearsay. Yes. So finally, we can say, you know what? I will avoid certain things, tea, coffee, some people avoid. Some people avoid this, that. And belief is, okay, I think that should keep me healthier than otherwise. That's all we can say. And time will tell. If it is working out for you, then you can say it's working out well for me. Every morning I have some, some people will soak methi in dahi in the night. And then in the morning, that methi will be soft. And then you just eat that methi. Methi to kadwa hota hai. So you put dahi in it rather than water. And then eat it, bite it, whatever. And they say it's good for diabetes. I don't know why they don't prove all these things. Maybe it is proven somewhere, but we don't come to know about those proofs. And so you say, I believe in it. I do it. It has worked out well. I think I'm so far, doctor hasn't said I have diabetes, so I'm good. That's all you can say. So, but here, see, so in belief, nobody can say you must be qualified to believe in something. Can anybody say you must be qualified to believe in something? Hey, even the guy on the street who doesn't read any newspapers might can say, you know what, so and so leader, I think I'll vote for him because some here say he or she has. You can't say you can't believe in this because you don't have a undergraduate degree. No, you can't say that. Can't say that because belief does not require any what prerequisite. Whereas if you go to college and if you tell them I want to study so and so, they will ask you, what did you study? Tell me what you studied. Based on that only, I can tell you if I can give you an admission. Okay. Like that. That's so prerequisites will be there. Why prerequisites in college? Because everything there is to be understood, not to be believed. You can't come out of college and say, or school and say, I believe that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 and all. The belief, you can't say, I believe. You have to say what? I know that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. I hope you understand the difference between knowledge and belief. So now, this Atma Vidya, which category will it come in? Does it come in the belief category or knowledge category? If you ask, we have to say it has to come under knowledge. It has to come under knowledge category, not belief category. We are not, Shastram is not asking us to believe in Atma. Believe in yourself, they say. Believe in yourself. That is different belief. That's a different belief. Believe in yourself, trust yourself. Things, you do exactly what your mind tells you to do and work hard, you will be successful in whatever you do. That's correct. So believe, that's the belief in yourself. Okay, I don't get shaken up by 10 different views. Just decide and do, take help, whatever. That's the belief in yourself. But yahan par to Atma should not be believed. Atma has to be understood. And categorical statements are being made about Atma being Avinashi, Ajaha, Aju, Nityasha, Shvatoyam, Puranaha, Na Hanyate, Na Hanyamane, Sharire. All that is a fact, nothing to be believed. Initially, we believe it, okay, but finally, the belief has to end up in knowledge. Therefore, whenever there is knowledge, there has to be some prerequisites. You have to finish high school before you go to college. Prerequisite. Prerequisite. There are prerequisites. Why? Because knowledge is involved. Studying and then you have to know some facts that are being taught in the college. And therefore, prerequisites. Yahan par bhi same thing. Prerequisite. Belief in God, it does not require any prerequisite. Is there any prerequisite to believe in God? No, believe in God. Either you believe or you don't believe. That's all. End of story. That's why you can't convince a person. No, you should believe in God. They come with a book in hand and say you must believe in this God. Well, and you can't argue with them also because they're all conditioned to say certain things. Unless you are equipped, we have to arm ourselves how to deal with these people. But otherwise, impossible. They will not leave. Like a leech, they will stick. And but here, jnanam is involved. Therefore, what are the adhikaritvam will come into play. All of you know that. Viveka, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshutvam. This is called Adhikaritvam. All of you should know it. If you don't know it, ask me in satsang. Okay? This is critical. This is Adhikaritvam. These are all the requirements for anybody to study Vedanta. Of course, we come into Vedanta without knowing all these things, but once we study Vedanta, we formalize all these things. The teacher should explain all these things. Therefore, here, Viveka is what? Atma Anatma Viveka. Hey, there is something called Atma. I need to know what it is. I know I'm very good at knowing so many Anatmas, but I know nothing about Atma. That is Viveka. Then Vairagyam. Vairagyam means dispassion. Dispassion means freedom from false priorities, false values. Not having false, not entertaining false values. Knowing what's what to a large extent in leading life. That's Vairagya. Then Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. So mastery over one's sense organs, one's ways of thinking. Okay. Swadharmanushthanam, etc. There are certain things. Six attributes are given there. Then Mumukshutvam is there. Fourth one is Mumukshutvam. This list is called Adhikaritvam or Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That's another word that is used for. Why? Because Sampatti, this is a wealth, very important qualification. And Chatushtaya Sadhana, this is a fourfold means to understand Atma. Straight away, sadhana it is. Okay, the last one is Mumukshutvam, and which means what? Mumukshu means one who seeks moksha is a mumukshu. And that mumukshutvam, that attribute that I want moksha must be there. I want moksha should then be, because moksha has so many definitions are there for moksha. And then that mumukshutvam has to be converted to jignasutvam. Oh my goodness. Okay, going to heaven is also a type of moksha, but that is called apekshika moksha, means relative moksha. There is something called absolute moksha, which cannot be gained by traveling to any place. And therefore, what? Therefore, this finally I come down to Atma. I search for God and heaven and all that. Finally, the whole Shastram says, points the whole finger to Atma. And then I say, I have to know what is Atma. Therefore, this Ishvara Vidya becomes Atma Vidya. Therefore, I want moksha should be converted to I want to know Atma. Both are identical. Therefore, in this mantra, this mumukshutvam is highlighted by putting down the other sadhanas. Okay, this is the gist of the whole mantra. Okay, I hope you're following. Right? So, he is saying, I am Atma pravachanena na labhya. Pravachanam here does not mean talking. Even though if it means talking, you should translate it to mean what? The person who is going to talk about Atma has really studied hard. Correct? Means that person has really worked hard. If that person is able to communicate, that person must have been a student first and foremost. And in order to teach something, the person simply can't blabber. They have to prepare very well. Therefore, pravachanam here means what? Self-study. Convert the talking to self-study. Okay, because talking anybody can talk. So talking cannot be an attribute. Shastra will not accept that. Because it is possible I can read from my notes. I can keep on looking at my notes and then keep reading it. You won't know. That to Zoom session also. You won't know what is there in front of me. I may have 3 computers. I have all the computers. Everything is scrolling. Okay. I'm simply reading from that. You think I'm a big Shastrajna. I can fool you. Yeah. Therefore, the Shastra will not accept all these things. Do you know or not? That's all the Shastra is. You can't fool the Shastra anyway. So therefore, pravachanam here does not mean giving lectures and all that, public talks and all. It means self-study. Next, medhaya. Medha Shakti. Medha Shakti means having studied something, I have retained it in my mind. I know whatever little I've studied, I know what it is. I'm clear. I'm clear about what I'm clear about. I'm clear about what I'm not clear about. And I have the ability to retain it. Shankara will explain it later. We'll see the actual definitions of medha. Then Shrutena, Bahuna Shrutena. I worked hard. I've listened to many Swamis and all that. And so that's the Bahuna Shrutena Shastram here in this mantra is saying, no, even that is not enough. Na Bahuna Shrutena. My goodness, what is this? Even that is not enough. I thought Shravanam is so important. I'm getting up at 5 in the morning and getting ready for 6:30 classes, 6:15 classes. That also is not enough. Yeah. Yame Vaishavrunute Tena Labhyaha. Only the person who decides to know Atma Tena Labhyaha, that person alone can gain the Atma. That means what? That mumukshutvam is highlighted. I need to go after. I need to go after. Okay, only that person will get this Atma. Then, Tasya Esha Atma Vivrunute Tanum Swam. Now, Atma is saying what? Atma is saying Tanum Swam. Atma will reveal itself. Tanum, we'll explain later. Atma will reveal its true nature to that person who decides to know Atma. You know, it's like this people, this love story and all. So, guy who goes after somebody else, and somebody else says, "Okay, I want to see how much you really want me," and so it becomes a love story. Then the guy says, "I will give up anything for you." Really, you'll give up anything for me? Yes. And then she has a way of testing him, and he does all those things, and then finally everybody lives happy thereafter, right? So it seems like that here also. Okay, that is what this mantra is saying. So that is the gist of this mantra. Let's look at the Bhaashyam. Yeah, Ramuji. Nayamatma pravachanena
नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन
aneka veda swikaranena
अनेन अनेकवेदस्वीकरणेन
labhyaha jneyah
लभ्यः ज्ञेयः
na api medhaya
न अपि मेधया
grantartha dharana shaktya
ग्रन्थार्थधारणशक्त्या
na bahuna shrutena
न बहुना श्रुतेन
kevalena.
केवलेन.
Yeah, stop with that.
There is something extra in the PDF.
Okay. So in your book, there is an extra. There is a couple of words. After bahuna shrutena, you have the words na bahu shrutyena. Correct? PDF has that file, that particular word. So you can keep it or don't keep it. It doesn't matter. The meaning is still the same. Na bahu shrutyena. It means bahuna shrutena. I'll explain that. So Bhagavan Bhashyakara is explaining the first half of the mantra here through these words. So, na ayam atma pravachanena labhyaha. Okay, let's see what it is. Ayam atma na labhyaha. This atma is not gained. Labhyaha is equal to jneyaha. Just in case we begin to have some funny notions about gaining Atma. Where do I gain Atma? Should I look inwards and do something special? Do I have to look upwards, the sidewards, and all that? He says, don't look anywhere. Don't look anywhere, first of all. Stop looking. This looking is a problem. Anybody who looks is not going to find Atma. So, Nyeyaha, to be understood. Because I am Atma anyway to begin with. And so, Nyeyaha, here, there. Okay, then what? This Atma, na labhyaha, cannot be known by what? Pravachanena is equal to Aneka Veda Swikaranena. Aneka Veda Swikaranena. See, those days, people were experts in Vedas. They were all Vedis, Divedis, Chaturvedis, Trivedis, all these. These are all names from, they're not simply names they had invented. They were all people who knew these Vedas. They were all experts and teaching others also. So if you have a last name Chaturvedi, one of us, if they have one or few of us, there's a lot of work we have to do. We have to start with Ekavedi. Vedi. Vedi is Vedi. Don't think Vedi is some Sardarji and all. Sardarji, okay, but Vedi, hey, they were Vedis. They were all Ekavedis. Then Dvivedi, then Trivedi, then Chaturvedi. Okay, that's the way to see all these. We have to connect. This is Akhand Bharat hai ye. So therefore, Aneka Veda Svikarane. So those days, to be a Vedi means it's a mark, it's a status in the society also. Means the person has so much in the mind and it is not easy. It requires a lot of effort. It requires going to the Veda Pathashala and spending the decade or more there. 2 decades of study is required, just like our children also study for a long time. Those days also they did it. So he says, Aneka Veda Svikarane. Okay. Chaturvedi api. Okay. Now this should trigger. He says, even by mastering the 4 Vedas, you cannot understand Atma. That is what Yama is telling us. This should remind you of something. What should it remind you of?
Bhagavad Gita also.
Paravidya.
Okay, tell me more.
Second chapter Bhagavad Gita. Bahushaka
Yanantascha.
Very good, very good. So, Bahushaka gade. Vedavadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinaha kamat manasvarga paraha janma karma pradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhoga ishwarya gatim prati. So ask the man, Chaturvedi, why did you study Chaturvedas? I will get punyam. It is my duty first, number 1. Duty. I did my duty. Good. That's a great thing. Then what? What happens if you do your duty? I will get a spot upstairs. That is what his answer is going to be. Most likely. Unless he studied the Upanishads properly under a guru. Okay. Therefore, he says, Aneka Veda Srikaranena. One more story I expected from you.
Narada.
Narada.
Mantravida na Atmavida.
Correct.
Chandogya Upanishad.
Sanat Kumara is asking, Narada is asking Sanat Kumara, please teach me something. Sanat Kumara is saying, okay, you tell me what you know. Then after that, I'll teach you. Because no point in teaching you what you already know. So then he says, Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Dharpana Vedaha, Aham Janami. I know all these things. And then he says, Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Kalpam, Jyotisham. All these Vedangas I know. Everything, he gives a big list. Then Nakshatra Vidya, Chatra Vidya, this Vidya. Nakshatra Vidya means the whole science of Bhuta Vidya. Like that, he gives a list. I know all the Vidyas that is there. Then what? Then he says, Mantra Videvasmi Natu Atmavit. I am the knower of all the mantras. I can go back and front. I can mesmerize people with this, but I am not Atmavit. I don't know the Atma. Okay, so what if you don't know the Atma? Shrutaha hi eva aham. Atmavit tarati shokam. Shokam tarati atmavit. Very important. Mahavakya there. Shokam tarati atmavit. Means what? The atmavit alone crosses over sorrow, wins over sorrow, is free from sorrow. Shrutaha eva bhagavadbhyaha, he says. I've heard from Mahatmas that only atmavit. So right there, can we connect it? This mantra to that mantra. So I'm a mantravit, but I'm not an atmavit. And then Shochami Bhagavo, he says, hey, Bhagavan, I am in grief. I have grief with me. Despite all this knowledge I have, I'm in sorrow. I'm grieving. Therefore, what? Shokasya param tarayatu. Please help me cross this sorrow. Like that, Narada is telling Sanat Kumara. That's what came to my mind also. Okay. So, Aneka Veda Swikaranena Nalabhyaha. I think we understood that. Number 2. Okay. What is the first one? If you want to give one word to that, Patanena. Pravachanena, within brackets, Patanam. Okay. Because Narada there he has studied all this. He may or may not have taught, but he has studied. Patanam is number 1. Number 2. Okay. Na api medhaya granthartha dharana shaktya. Full stop. So granthartha dharana shaktya, we can put within brackets atma na labhyaha. Yes, that's following from that's the anuvritti in the mantra. Okay, atma na labhya. Atma cannot be gained also by what? Na api medhaya. Neither by meda shakti. Meda is prized. In any culture, it is prized. A person who knows the subject matter and is crystal clear is definitely worshipped. Worship means that is a blessing because we've studied so much. It's so difficult to understand certain things, but other people are able to understand, but I can't understand. Like this, so many things are there. And so, this, for example, this Panchangam is there. Okay, quote unquote astrology is there. Okay, and there are many people who know these nakshatras left and right. Just ordinary people, means our own people, neighbors and all. But I look at them and say, I don't understand. The problem is I was never trained in these things. So I wonder how they know. So it has been there coming in our tradition just like that. And if we miss out on that, then we won't know any of that. And so, Meda, Shankara is saying, Grantartha Dharana Shakti. Meda is what? It is a Shakti, it's a capacity to do what? Dharanam. Dharanam means supporting, a capacity to retain. Keep in the mind what is to be kept. Granthartha. Grantaha cha tasya arthaha cha. To retain the text that was studied. Those case Vedas completely memorized. So the Shabda, Grantha refers to the Shabda of the Granthas that have been studied. And tasya arthaha also. Simply studying something, memorizing something is not enough. You have to know the meaning of that also. And therefore, Grantaha tasya arthaha cha tasya dharanam eva shaktihi granthartha dharana shakti taya granthartha dharana shaktya. By that kind of a capacity also atmanalabhyaha. Okay. Then number 3, na bahuna shrutena. Last quarter of the first half of the month. Correct. So, and na bahu shrutyena, both mean the same thing. And then kevalena, Bhagavan is adding, Shankaracharya is adding, kevalena. Because Shankaracharya knows, Utavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. Okay. So Shravanam is very important. Here the mantra is saying Shravanena, Bahuna Shravanena also. You can go on listening to the Shastram, you still won't get it. And Shankaracharya is saying Kevalena. Means purely listening is not enough. Shravanam alone is not enough. What else is needed? Mananam is also needed. Nididhyasanam is also needed. Otherwise, we become something mechanical, they say, no, mechanical. The potential for mechanicality is there. And so he's saying, Kevalena, like our Swami Chinmayananda says a joke. He says, one person came to him. Paramarthanandaji mentioned this. One person came to him, Chinmayananda, and said, Swamiji, I have gone through all the Upanishads. All means 10 Upanishads, mainly. Maybe he has gone through many, we don't know. I've gone through 10 Upanishads because Shankaracharya has written the commentary on 10 Upanishads. So 10 is a popular number for us. So I've gone through 10 Upanishads. Then Swamiji says, these Swamijis can read people just left and right like that. You don't need to have a big X-ray machine and all, not read it. And so Swamiji says, oh really? You've gone through 10 Upanishads? How many Upanishads have gone through you? You have gone through 10 Upanishads. How many Upanishads have gone through you? Means yahan kuch hai. Baad mein, after reading all that, kuch hai. Baki yahan. I mean, do you remember? You know all that? So you're a jnani now? That's the idea. So because the jnani will never say, I studied so much and all that. They will never say. And so the fact that somebody is saying, and Swami may have chosen to give that kind of response. So therefore, Kevalena, Bahuna Shrutena, 10 Upanishads studying also, Atma na labhyaha. Okay, Bahuna Shrutena Kevalena api, Atma na labhyaha. Okay. And Maniprabha, correct. Maniprabha says, Dharanavati Buddhihi. For Meda, he's saying that, Dharanavati Buddhihi. Then Maniprabha for Bahuna Shrutena, he says, Upanishad Vichara Atirikta Aneka Shastra Shravanena. He's saying, hey, Aneka Shastra you have studied all right, but have you studied Upanishads? That is what our Maniprabha is interpreting. And he's interpreting another way also. Guru Upadesha Rahita Upanishad Shravanena. Okay, no, I studied Upanishad. Okay, did you study Upanishad from the words of a guru, or you read Monier Williams translation? You know, people read all these English translations. That is what Maniprabha is telling. Guru Upadesha Rahita Upanishad Shravanena. Look at the way they think. Okay? From this we understand so much about the Shastra. So, na bahuna shrutena atma labhyaha. Then what? Let's read the next one. Kena tarhi labhyaha
केन तर्हि लभ्यः
iti uchyate
इति उच्यते
yam eva
यम् एव
swam atmanam.
स्वम् आत्मानम्.
In Gita, it is swatmanam. Both are okay. You don't have to scratch anything. Just remember there is swatmanam versus swam atma. Yeshaha
येषः
sadhakaha
साधकः
vrunute prarthayate
वृणुते प्रार्थयते
tena eva atmana varitra
तेन एव आत्मना वरित्रा
swayam atma labhyaha
स्वयम् आत्मा लभ्यः
nyayate.
ज्ञायते.
Next, your notebook, you must add the word evam.
एवम्.
So that is there in Gita Press, but not in your notebook. Evam iti etat
एवम् इति एतत्
nishkamasya
निष्कामस्य
atmanam eva
आत्मानम् एव
prarthayatah
प्रार्थयतः
atmana eva.
आत्मना एव.
So in your book, instead of nishkamasya, which is in Gita Press, you may see nishkamaha cha or nishkamascha. Okay. So we will stick with nishkamasya. Nishkamasya. You may be able to explain nishkamasya also, but we'll stick with nishkamasya. Okay. Atmana eva
आत्मना एव
atma labhyate
Atma labhyate
Ityarthaha.
ityarthaha.
So, kena tarhi labhyaha iti uchyate. Okay, you've taken out all this self-study, you've taken out Swadhyaya. There's a whole big group called Swadhyaya. Group is there. They are going to get upset when they hear all these things. And you've taken Swadhyaya out, you've taken Shravanam out, you've taken Veda out. And these are the things I really do. And you're telling me this Atma can't be understood by all this? Then kena tarhi. Then what? By what method? By what means can I know Atma? Then he's saying the answer to that is the second half of this mantra, which says, Yam eva swatmanam yeshaha sadakaha vrunute prarthayate. So, tena sadakaha prarthayate. That sadaka, that person who may be doing all the shravanam and things like that, but prarthayate. Prarthayate means one who asks for, prays for what? Yam eva, yam atmanam, swatmanam. The one who really wants that swatma, atma which is swatma, atma which is not somewhere out there, it's not a concept, my dear friend. It is not a concept because atma is the self, which is me. If somebody says you are a concept, it's an insult. You are a concept means what? You're an interesting guy. You're interesting. You're a concept, my God. We can't understand you. There is a meaning. You're a concept. Hey, I am not a concept. I am very much there. I am absolute. I am there right in front of you. I'm not a concept. Okay. And so, swatmanam yameva prarthayate vrunute vrudhatu. Vrudhatu. And vrudhatu should take you to the word
Varanam or
varanam, and therefore
Varam.
varam, and
Varam.
therefore and
Vruni.
Prapnote.
vrudhatu. Vrudhatu.
Vrinishva. Vrinishva.
Very important word that has
Swayamvaram.
varna.
Swayamvaram. Varna.
Swayamvaram, but varnaha. I'm looking for varnaha. Varnashrama dharma. Ashrama is brahmacharya. Varna is what? This Brahmana Shudra. Correct? That is varna. And what is the meaning of that word varna? Here, vrunute is prarthayate, chooses to know. That Atma, that person who chooses to know the Atma, that is what is being said here. Yaha mumukshuhu, yaha jignasuhu means what? One who desires to know the Atma, chooses the Atma means chooses to know the Atma. So there, varnaha is one who chooses a particular lifestyle is called varnaha. That lifestyle is called varnaha. One who chooses to be a Brahmana can be a Brahmana. One who chooses to be a Kshatriya can be a Kshatriya. Why one should choose? Because who I am, only I know. What are my likes and dislikes, only I know. I want to protect the country means that is what I will do. Don't do something just because some IT job is giving so many 2 lakhs per month salary. That is what is the meaning. Don't go after money. That is the idea. So that is therefore Varna has to be chosen. I can choose to be Shudra. Nothing wrong. Shudra means I am good at doing certain things. I am good at following orders. And I will do that. I will do a very good job at that. That is very important in society. Or I can be a Vaishya. Commerce. The country will not run without commerce, without movement of goods and services. Okay. GST, goods and services tax, they say. Okay. So GST is not possible without some activity happening. So that person is a Vaishya. That person chooses to be a Vaishya. Therefore, it's called Vaishya Varnaha. Same root, vru, to choose, Varane. Therefore, Varam also. What did Yama say? What did Yama say? Yama said, Tasmat prati trin varan vrinishva. Because you stayed at my home for 3 days without eating, therefore please choose 3 boons. Choose. Varan vrinishva. 2 words are there. Vara also has the same root. Vrinishva also has the same root. Yeah. Anyway, that is just some background. So now, Yameva Swadmanam Yeshaha Sadakaha Vrute Prarthayate. Okay. Tena eva atmana varitra swayam atma labhyaha jnayate. Tena eva, that person alone who chooses to know the Atma, correct? Tena eva, tena eva, only by that person. Eva kara is there, okay? Only by that person. And who is that person? Shankaracharya says, Atmana varitra. Very interesting. Tena eva atmana. See, why he says atmana? Why he says atmana is, yam, see, yam. In Sanskrit, yam is that, correct? That which the sadhaka chooses to know is Atma, obviously. Therefore, here, Tena means Atmana only. Tena Atmana. It's a bit odd. Why is it odd? The Atma that the sadhaka chooses to know, and Tena Labhya. By that Atma, it is understood. It is wrong. Atma need not understand anything. Tena here should refer to Atmana, but you have to read it as Varitra, he says. Now the question is, what is Varitra? Varitra, same Vrudhat. Varita, one who chooses is called a Varita. Like Neta, Mata, Pita, or Neta, one who leads is called a Neta. Nayati iti Neta. Nayati. Nidhat, correct? So Neta. So like that, Varitra. Vrudhat, one who chooses, is called a Varita. And Tritiya, by the Varita means Varitra. Like by Mata, by the mother means Matra. By the father, by Pita means Pitra. By the Neta, Netra. Sanskrit, okay? So therefore here, Varitra, by that Varita, means by the one who chooses to know Atma. Exclusively said, no, my life has changed now. Why it has changed? Because now all along I was here in this world of Anatma. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha. It is all prayers. My whole life has been governed by prayers and it is going to continue like that forever. But now I understand there is something called Shreyas. The ship is slowly changing its course to a different direction altogether. And there is something called Shreyas. Yama already introduced Shreyas and Prayas long ago. And so there is something called Shreyas. That person, that Varita, one who chooses to know Atma in this manner is called Varita. Tena Varitra. That Atmana Varitra is an interpretation of, because Atma need not know. The way the mantra is written, it says Tena. That Atma which is chosen by the sadhaka, by that Atma is known, it says like that. But that can't be right. Therefore, he is saying Atmana means Varitra. Shankaracharya is helping us reinterpret. He is saying, don't take it literally. If you don't follow this, I'll explain it in satsang once again. Okay. So, Tena Atmana Varitra Swayam Atma Labhyaha Nyayate. Swayam Atma Nyayate. What is known? Atma alone is Nyayate, is understood, is known clearly. Swayam. Swayam. Swayam means what? By himself, herself. By that person only. Nobody else can know Atma except the one who seeks to know Atma. Okay. I seek Atma and then you get moksha. That is generally that won't work. Nowhere it works, and definitely in this Vidya also it won't. Okay. Swayam. And another meaning for Swayam is what? That which I am after is myself. In all the other Apara what I knew was not myself. What was Anatma. Here Atma. Here I am trying to know myself. So Swayam, that is another meaning for Swayam. There is no gaining other than knowing. Gaining Atma, if you say, you should not get into one of those 4 things which are the result of karma. What are the 4 things that is the result of karma?
Utpadate, Utpadam,
Utpadyam,
Samskaryam,
Samskaryam,
Vikalpyam,
Ikaryam,
Karyam, sorry. And Apyam.
Apyam or Prapyam, Apyam. That's it. These are the only 4 possibilities an action can do. And what are these 4? This one, Utpadyam, creation, producing something new, like the birth of a child, birth of any object. Okay, Utpadyam. And then Samskaryam, Vikaryam, cleaning up, refinement. Okay, like they do in antique shops, and like they are refurbished laptop. So that is this Samskaryam, Vikaryam, changing it completely, changing a form completely, like dahi out of milk. Okay, that is Vikaryam. Then what? Apyam, going to a new place A to place B. These are only 4 possibilities. And so, but yahan gaining Atma, what? Is it one of those 4 possibilities? Sorry, my dear friend. Swayam Atma Labhyaha. Atma is me. There is no going anywhere. There is no going towards Atma. There is no cleaning up Atma. Nothing. Only one possibility is left, which is knowledge of Atma. So this is a very unique subject matter from this. Also, okay. Okay. Atma Nyayate Evam. Okay. There is a word called Evam. This has to be added in your PDF notes I mentioned. So Evam. Evam means in this manner. Atma is understood in this manner. In this manner, if words like this come, it is an opportunity for us to review. In this manner means in what manner? What is the manner? Oh, then you have to go back all the way till mantra number 18. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit vipaschit nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. In that manner. Na jayate ajaha ajo nitya shashvatoya nityaha shashvataha puranaha na hanyamane na hanyate etc. Na hanti. Then next mantra hanta chen manyate nayam hanti na hanyate. Sometimes it's good to have all the mantras moolam with you as a separate text. So for example, I printed out the moola mantras, just listed the moolas, and then I have written some notes on important things I've underlined, etc. What is the main thing? What is the key thing the mantra is saying? See, after studying all these things, we shouldn't get lost in so many words, Shankaracharya, Bhaashyam, Panini, Guruji is saying so many things, etc. Yeah, I may be saying so many things. But finally, if I say in one sentence, tell me what the mantra is telling, you will be able to say, correct? Without getting lost in words. One sentence, you will be able to summarize. 2 sentences. So sometimes I have a write-up like this. Finally, okay, what are we studying? Where are we? Last class, where were we? So be able to look up. Yeah, this is exactly where. Okay, I know. Now I understand. Yama has been telling me about Nachayate, then Nahanti Nahanyate, then Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, then Asino Duram Brajati. So Atma, as though going somewhere and coming back, traveling, etc. And this traveling feeling is there. I see, I got it. Then Ashariram Sharireshu. Then now I have come to Nayamatma Pravachanena Labhyaha, which is talking about not about the nature of Atma, but the qualifications required to know Atma. It is not, so far it is all about nature of Atma, but now it is qualification. Sadhana is talked about. Like that, you must be able to look at these mantras. Then the understanding will become clearer. Because it's possible, because we are studying so much, and so we can get this. They say, what do you say? Missing the forest for the trees. I think that's what they say. Missing the forest for the trees. Means I appreciate tree after tree after tree. And then somebody asks you, where are you? Where am I? I'm in front of a tree. Yeah, we know you're in front of a tree. Where are you? Which forest? I'm in a forest. At least that much you must be able to say. Which forest? Some forest you have to say. Like that. So anyway, evam means that word evam should make you go to this list and go back to Najayate Mriyate. Vibhuhu, Mahan, all these words should. Iti etat means that is how it should be understood. That is what Shankara is saying. Okay, let's read the next. So that completes the Bhaashyam of the main words of the Moolam. And Shankara is going to now say, see, in this, okay, let's read this. Katham labhyate iti uchyate
Katham labhyata iti uchyate
tasya
tasya
atmakamasya
atmakamasya
yeshaha atma
eshaha atma
vivrunute
vivrunute
prakashayati
prakashayati
paramarthikim tanum
paramarthikim tanum
swam swakiyam
swam swakiyam
swayathatmyam
swayathatmyam
ityarthaha.
ityarthaha.
So he's giving a gist of this mantra, if you will. Okay. See, in this mantra, if you look at it, yeah, okay. That's the next one. All right. So he's giving a gist. He's saying, Katham labhyate iti uchyate.
Guruji, previous line, I think,
No,
Prarthaya.
sorry, we did not read the Nishkamasya, did we?
We read that, but it was not explained.
Okay, we read that, not explained. Correct. So, Nyayate evam iti etat. Till there we explained. Now, so in the Gita Press, there's this line in that paragraph. So let's read that one. Okay. We have read that, is this? Nishkamasya, we have read, is it not? Okay, good. So he's saying, Nishkamasya atmanameva prarthayataha. So that prarthayata, it should be written as prarthayataha. Okay. So Shashti. So Nishkamasya atmanameva prarthayataha atmana atma labhyate ityarthaha. So Shankara is introducing the word Nishkamasya. Who is going to gain this atma? You ask. Here he's saying Nishkamasya. Nishkamasya. Because he's introducing this kama is such an important word. It comes all the time in the Bhagavad Gita. And so because now that my sights are shifting from anatma to atma, shifting from prayers to shreyas, okay, this kama is there only in the word of prayers. Why? Because I have kama towards anything, so many things in this world, including people and bandhus. And so this kama is there. What is the way? Why they are saying that? As long as I am focused on an atma, my focus on atma will not be there. To the extent my mind is focused on atma, to that extent my mind is less focused on atma. So atma eva tena eva labhyaha yamaivesha vrunute. So if my focus is on atma, I have to reduce my focus on anatma. Despite leading a busy life, despite doing my duties, because duties implies the anatma. Duties are there. Constantly duties are there. There's no human being in this world who has no duties. Even an avaidika will have duties. Minimum, the person has to pay tax if the person is earning money. Even if the person is not earning money, he has to file a tax form which has zero income and zero tax. Otherwise, our government is very good, you know. They will catch hold of people who have done some petty things like not paid 1,000 rupees. Because, you know, it's easy to arm twist all these people. But the guys who run away from the country and then sitting in other islands, we know some people like that. And we can't catch them. So the government has to show, no, we are also good. So we catch a few people. So, but that fellow also has dharma, okay, to follow. And therefore, Nishkamasya means what? The person who has recognized that despite the things I like, I have a lot of ragadveshas. Nobody can remove the ragadveshas. Only thing I can do is I can say I don't have to be a victim of my ragadveshas. Indriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavastito tayor na vasham agachyet. Only Bhagavan says, Krishna says, he doesn't say give up ragas. Turn on the TV channel, they say राग और द्वेष को छोड़ दो, त्याग कर दो. राग और द्वेष को त्याग कर दो. It's like saying, it's like telling fire to give up your ability to burn and heat. Hey, fire will burn and heat. That is the nature of fire. Raga Dvesha is there. Krishna is saying, don't come under the spell of Raga and Dvesha. That is all it. That is what it is. That whole Shastra boils down. That is preparation. Okay. And so, Nishkamasya Atmana Eva Atma Labhyate Ityarthaha. And that was already, why Shankara should say Nishkamasya? Because Nachiketa proved. What did he prove? That he is a Nishkama. You should not ask me when did this happen? You should not say it happened some time ago, but we did study the story. And I'll point out to you if you like. If you want proof. No, you're all proof asking people. So I will tell you, 1:1:15, look up.
Shobhavaha also.
And before that, and Shobhavaha, he said, correct, that's the proof. And 1:1:15. Yeah. No, 1:1:15 is wrong. 1:1:25, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, 1:1:25. Ima Ramaha. Yeah, one mantra before Shobhavaha. Ima Ramaha Sarata Saturyaha. Okay. And then Sarvendriyana, sorry, Nahidrisha Lambaniya Manushya. Hey, Nachiketa, I'm going to give you stuff that even the people, your own people in earth, Mother Earth, will not have all this. These kinds of stuff I'm going to give you. Okay? And this boy says Shobhava. No, this is not, doesn't help me at all. Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha. Hey, these people are going to get lost in this world of karma, and the sense organs will weaken. Why would I want to weaken my sense organs? I want my eyes to be good. I want my ears to function like they should function. And they go around enjoying, and they finally end up having all kinds of short-sightedness and this and that. And api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Okay, finally I also have to die after all these years. Tavaiva vahaha tava nritya gite. You keep them. Somebody else wants, you can, there are a lot of people in Yamaloka also, there are who are ajnanis. And so they will want all these things, you keep them. And so you can save some money. That is what he said. Therefore, Nishkamaha. That's what we read from there. Okay. So therefore, here, then he says, so that concludes the Bhaashyam. And in Gita Press, another paragraph is started. And I don't know how it is in PDF. And so, Katham labhyate iti uchyate. Again, he says that. How Atma is to be known is said next. And okay. So he's summarizing. Okay. Tasya. No, sorry, he's not summarizing. That another quarter is there. That another quarter is there. And so, Katham, how? Tasya Atma Kamasya Yeshaha Atma Vivrunati. So that mantra we saw. That the person, so now you said Nayamatma Pravachana, what will not work, you have said. So what will work? So Katham Atma Labhyate Tasya Yeshaha Atma Vivrunute Tanum Swam, the last part. So now this is the perspective of Atma. Previously it is a perspective of the Mumukshu, the person who specifically seeks to know Atma, specifically wants moksha, is crystal clear, that person will gain Atma. Now it is the other way around. Atma's perspective. As though Atma says, it will reveal itself to such a person. Atma says, Tasya, Nishkamasya, Atmakamasya. For that person, here is a person who says, my God, I want to know who I am. Tell me who I am. Aham kaha, koham. Okay, that person. Okay, it seems Atma is searching for people. Is anybody willing to know? Want me? Everybody is going after Anatma. Poor Atma is searching around. That poor Atma is saying, yeah, here is a guy who wants to know me. And so, Tasya Atma Kamasya Yesha Atma Vivrunute means what? Prakashayati. Vivrunute is equal to Prakashayati. Reveals. Prakashayati. Prakashit karta hai Atma. And what kind of prakashanam is done here? Paramarthikim tanum swam swakiyam swayathatmyam ityartha. Swam, swarupam, swakiyam, swayathatmyam. Yathatmyam is a very interesting word in Sanskrit. Yatha bhuta drishtihi. Yatha means just as it is. Just as it is. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. Exactly as the nature of Atma has to be understood. Nothing more. Don't project anything on Atma. And don't take anything away from Atma. So that is called Yathatmyam. And sometimes Shastra will say Yatha bhuta drishti. Jnani. He said Jnani has what kind of drishti? Yatha bhuta drishti means that vision of Atma exactly as Atma is to be known, exactly as Atma is. So Prakashayati is saying Swayathatmyam, one's own nature, Swarupam. And this Tanum Paramarthikim, you have to reverse the order. You put Tanum, and the meaning of Tanum is Paramarthikim Swam. What kind of nature Atma is going to reveal itself? Is it Vyavaharika Satyam? Is it Pratibhasika Satyam? Or is it Paramarthika Satyam? Paramarthikim Swam. The true nature of Atma, which is Paramarthika Satyam, among the three Satyams that we know of, that Prakashayati. Atma Prakashayati. Atma is a karta in the sentence, correct? Atma Prakashayati. Atma will reveal itself to that person who has no binding desire. No binding desire, right? That we saw in Bhagavad Gita. Desires will always be there. Desires cannot be removed. Raga Dvesha cannot be removed. But whether Raga Dveshas are binding or not binding. So therefore, that should be taken figuratively, obviously. Atma is not, Atma is akarta, so it is not really looking for anybody, etc. Figuratively said. And there is a beautiful Shanti mantra. Apyayantu mamangani. How many of you have heard that? Yeah. So almost half of you. I'll tell you what the mantra is. Apyayantu mamangani. It's a Shanti mantra like Sahana Vavuddu and Purnamataha. Apyayantu mamangani. May you help me with proper mamangani. So all parts of my body should work properly. Only then I can study the Shastra. Otherwise, my mind will be just running around thinking about the health, So, apyayantu mamangani. Vak pranas chakshu shrotram atho balam indriyani. So, all these indriyani sense organs, let them work properly. Tejo, bhavatu, bhavantu. And then what? Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Then suddenly, Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Everything is Brahma. This is Shanti Mantra, right? Sarvam Brahma. And what is this Brahma? Upanishadam Brahma. The Brahma is that which is revealed only by the Upanishad. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Then, Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I not reject Brahma. May I not reject Brahma means what? May I continue to stay focused. May I don't just walk away from this pursuit. This is a very important pursuit. Why? Durlabam trayame vaitat devanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha shamsrayaha. Shri Shankaracharya, in Viveka Chudamani. Three things are most difficult to attain. Durlabam trayame vaitat. What are those three? Manushyatvam. Manushya Janma is Durlabam. Very difficult to get, my dear friend. Then what? On top of that, Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam. Next, for the man to say, for the woman to say, you know what? There is something called moksha. Dharmartha Kama, I understand we are all involved in that. But there is something more than Dharma also. And that I want. Which Nachiketa said. And what did he say? Where did he say? How did he say?
Anyatra dharmat.
Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Right? He said this. So therefore, I want to know what is beyond dharma. And so Maham Brahma Nirakurya may not reject that Brahma. Because Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samsraya, even a association with the Guru. Because only Guru Mukhate. Therefore, Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. Let Brahma not reject me. Means what? Let the circumstances be in my favor. All these COVIDs and tsunamis and all that are happening. Let things be okay outside. Let the conditions in the family be okay. That is the meaning. Brahma has nothing to do. But may Brahma not reject me means may it, when I study also, may I understand. May it reveal itself. Same thing here also. Tasyesha Atma Vivnudate Tanum Swam. Correct? First one is what? Yame Vaisha Vrinute Tena Labhyaha. That is what? Maham Brahma Nirakuryam in this mantra. The second, last quarter is what? Tasyaisha Atma Vivrunute Tanum Swam. Is what Atma, may Atma reveal itself. Means what? Mama Brahma Nirakarot. May Brahma not move away from me. May Brahma not reject me. May Brahma make it conducive for me. That's what comes to my mind here. Okay. So now we must connect this mantra to other mantras we have studied. Okay. These are not in, look at 1 to 7. Okay. 1 to 7. What is it? Shravanaya pi bahubiryona labhyaha. We already studied all this. Correct? 1 to 7? Yeah. Shravanaya pi bahubiryona labhyaha. Here, na bahuna shrutena. Same thing is said again. Correct? And so there Ascharyavat Paschati. That's what we were talking about. Shravanayapi Bahubiryona Labhyaha. Then what about was 8th mantra? Na narena varena proktayeshaha suvijnayo bahuda chintyamanaha ananya prokte gatiratra nasti. Okay. So there also, there the teacher's qualifications are mentioned. And Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti. Hey, even a teacher who talks about moksha as something, as a prapiam, something where you have to go somewhere, he is not going to get all the benefits. It's not going to give me the goods, will not deliver the goods. He said that there. Then, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya, number 9. Tarkena, I am very intelligent. I graduated from IIT, then I went to IIM. Then, this I, too many I's are there. I have a problem with that sometimes. Too many I's. I. That I mean. Okay. And then I did IIM. Then I got a job into multinational. Then I did this. Then I became CEO. Very good. We are blessed, no doubt. That's very important. If you can do that, that's good. But here it says, Nayamatma Tarkena. Tarkena Matir Apane. So there's no chance. You can get all your degrees you want. You can get a few more degrees if you want. Then there is one person here who, in our senior citizen complex, he's a senior citizen. He's got 18 master's degrees and he's getting his 19th right now. And I am his advisor. I signed a piece of paper where I am his advisor. Amazing man he is. That's his way of keeping in touch with the world, Amazing. He's doing, it's a correspondence course. He's doing some experiments, anthropology. He has to do some experiments on people by interviewing and all that. It's not easy work. That man he has a fresh mind. He's connected with what's going on. He's not sitting
How old
home.
is he? How old is he?
Maybe 70, he's 70 plus 70. I would put his age at 70. And he supports our projects, Asha Seva Kendram projects. And he's leading a very purposeful life. I felt like that. So nothing, for no reason. He doesn't want to show off saying I have so many degrees. Nothing. He's getting one more degree. Nobody knows also. Nobody knows. I don't know how I came to know about this. I think one day he asked me, I want you to be my advisor. You have to sign a piece of paper. What advisor? I'm doing a master's. You're doing a master's now? Isn't it a bit late to do masters? Then I realized, no. Who said it's late to do masters? What is the late business? No late. Jnanam, there is no late business. And so never late. So that kind of right there is it was. And so we need to connect this mantra to all those previous mantras. Therefore, what is the summary of this mantra? Highlighting Tivra Mumukshutvam. By de-emphasizing Shravanam, etc. What kind of Shravanam? Kevala Shravanam. Manana Nididhyasa Rahita Shravanam. Or Shastra Patanam. Upanishad Shravana Rahita Shastra Patanam. Somebody says, I study Shastra means somewhere Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad must be there. Somewhere. Otherwise, we have to ask, what is it you're studying, etc. We have to ask. But no, other regional languages have some very important Shastrams. Okay? So every state of this country has their own Shastram in their own language. Because many Jnanis have written texts, Granthas, Tamil Nadu, Devaram, etc. is there. And so it's huge, voluminous. And so some of them may not have been exposed to Bhagavad Gita, but they may already be studying the same content, okay, in different forms. So that's the meaning of this. Tivra Mumukshutvam is highlighted. Let's do the Anvaya. I am Atma. Within brackets, Kevalena. Brackets closed, Pravachanena. I am Atma. Kevalena Pravachanena. Within brackets, Aneka Veda Swikaranena. Aneka Veda Swikaranena. Na Labhyaha. Within brackets, Nyeyaha. Semicolon. Medhaya. Within brackets, Granthartha Dharana Shaktya. Na Labhyaha. Labhyaha supplied. Within brackets. Na Labhyaha semicolon. Bahuna Shrutena Na Labhyaha. Bahuna Shrutena Na Labhyaha. Labhyaha supplied. Full stop. Yam Atmanam. Yam Atmanam. Atmanam supplied. Eva Eshaha Sadhakaha. Sadhakaha supplied. Eva Esha Sadhakaha. Eshaha Sadhakaha. Sadhakaha supplied. Vrunute Prarthayate. Prarthayate supplied. Vrunute Prarthayate, comma. Tena. Tena, within brackets, Varitra Labhyaha. Varitra only supplied. Tena Varitra Labhyaha. Full stop. Yeshaha Atma. Yeshaha Atma. Tasya Nishkamasya. Nishkamasya supplied. Swam Tanu Vivrunute. Swam Tanu Vivrunute. Prakashayati supplied. Full stop. Swam Tanu Vivrunute Prakashayati. Okay, let me read the whole thing now. I am Atma Kevalena Pravachanena Aneka Veda Swikaranena na Labhyaha Nyeyaha semicolon Medhaya Grantartha Dharana Shaktya na Labhyaha semicolon Bahuna Shrutena na Labhyaha full stop Yam Atmanam Eva Yeshaha Sadakaha Vrunute Prarthayate comma Tena Varitra Labhyaha full stop. Yeshaha Atma Tasya Nishkamasya Swam Tanu Vivrunute Prakashayati full stop. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om